Hey, Coach. You guys the other night, sort of in unison, all talked about this being an essential homestand. What are things besides wins that you absolutely have to see consistently throughout these 7 games?
Well, I'm gonna go back to that quintessential word you use, win. We got to win ball games. We should have won Indiana game. You know, going back watching the film, have 7 turnovers in the fourth quarter, have our group out there majority of the time that started the game, have defensive breakdowns like we did to end the game, lose our poise and composure like we did at the end of the game. Can't happen. And just because you're at home, some of those same problems could arise. How we respond to it is key. We talked about this should be a good homestand for us. We get a chance to sleep in our own beds, play on our own court, have our own fans behind us, but you got to take care of business. And the goal is to win every single game we play.
What in the losses, Coach? What isn't connecting? Because there's stretches where you guys seem, you look great, and it looks totally in rhythm and like everything's being figured out. And then you do have a quarter like the fourth, or we do see the defense completely break down. So, what is it that's not, completely connecting for 48 minutes that needs to change here?
It's the value of each possession, and sometimes we take that for granted. It is we can score and maybe make up the deficit because we have a mistake, but we come out in the third quarter and give up 3 straight threes just because the focus and the concentration wasn't there. And those things have happened to us too frequently. And it's my job to continue to show it to the team, point it out, make it as black and white as I can. And we'll do that before pregame today, even though we lead into another game. We'll see some clips from Indiana and challenge this group to be locked in on each possession. Now, that's hard to do. You're going to have mistakes. The game is, a game of mistakes. Basketball is. That's the beauty of it also. But can we do it more times than not? And that's the challenge for this group.
Jacque, I think it was roughly 2 weeks ago you guys got out of Portland with the win. Just even though you guys got the win, obviously it was down to the wire with the Royce 7. What troubles did they give you guys last time that are a priority today?
Well, a little bit of everything. You saw their ability to get to the rim, whether it's Simon, Lillard played that game, Grant, who has the ability to play one-on-one also. For us, it's been the fouls. And so you got a big in the middle in Nurkic. So what are we going to do with him? Are we going to be able to get him pushed out, get him off the offensive boards, contest him in our paint? So that's the one piece of it. Then you got guys who can drive and get into the paint. So that piece of not fouling, which we've been doing too much of, and really being locked in on the defensive end of the floor, which we were. But we made shots also at the end of that game as well.
And any chance we see TJ or Yuta this week?
Hopefully we're trending that direction. Neither one have had a setback, and so they're still progressing, and so hopefully that does happen.
Jacque, in Indiana, I'm sorry, Brian, you go. In the loss in Indiana, it looked like, defensively with some of the breakdowns just on some of the screens, whether on or off the ball, some guys not on the same page. Just what do you attribute that to?
It's interesting. You start watching that game back, and, there's no secret. We switch pick and roll. Okay, so once the pick and roll happens, now as the defender, usually we have some sort of mechanism where he knows which way he's pushing that pick and roll or he's pushing that isolation. It happened tonight versus Simon. Which way we want to send him. Now, the unfortunate part sometimes when you're switching is you guard him while I chill over here. We have too many possessions. All right, so then you guard him, we shrink the floor, it's still a 5-man defense. And so there's too many possessions where, hey, Nick Claxton, go guard Simon, go guard Halliburton, and then the rest of us are going to chill over here. Too many possessions that way.
On the flip side, some of the threes that you guys have given up, in your mind, are those just the human nature of a guy losing concentration, or is some of that guys helping out too much to kind of dig so you guys don't get beat up in the paint?
It varies, Brian. It's interesting. Sometimes we're in great position. Miles Turner hits a 26-footer. That's fine. Buddy Hield hits a top-of-the-key 3 off the bounce with Seth Curry right there. That's fine. But we do have a breakdown where they run a side pick and roll. The ball is swung to Matherin, and we're a little late on the catch, and he shoots it. So can you put yourself in the right position over and over again and then deal with the consequences? And so we haven't put ourselves in the right position over and over again to live with the consequences yet. That's the challenge.
Hey, JV. About a quarter of the way through the year now, where do you assess the team overall in totality? Obviously, you had to get Ben back up to speed. He's coming to form here. But overall with the team, a quarter of the way through, where do you see this group of guys?
Yeah, good to see you, Michael. You know me. I am a no-excuse guy. All right, so first of all, we have lost some games that we should have won. All right, so point blank, whether that was the 76ers game, whether that was the Indiana game. We got to win those games. And so we got to be focused enough, care about it enough, be engaged enough for 48 minutes to get that done. No matter who's playing, no matter who we're waiting on, the team that is playing tonight has to win this game tonight. And that's our focus. And if we can go into each game with that mentality, we're going to do whatever it takes. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow versus Orlando. But tonight, we got to use every single possession and try to win it. And that's where we need to be as a team, but we're not there yet. Okay, guys.